Hello, everybody. Welcome to what will be part one of a little seasonal living series that I'm going to be sharing over the coming weeks ahead. And seasonal living is something that is incredibly close to my heart, very important to me. It's something I work a lot with my clients, and something with which I work a lot with my clients. Lots of withs in there, a lot of withing. And it's a very, I feel, misunderstood concept, and it's something from which we're very disconnected nowadays. And so my intention in the coming weeks is to define it and to really show how we've become disconnected and how that opportunity for reconnection is there, and really what the benefits of reconnecting. And it's not hard. It's not something that is like outside of us, or is this, we have to get complicated with and overthink. It's just allowing more being and more natural, and less of the thinking and less of the very unnatural ways that many of us are living on planet Earth in 2019. So, seasonal living. When you hear me say that, how does that sit? How does it land? What does it conjure up for you? Just kind of seasonal living. What does it mean to live seasonally? What does it mean to honor the seasons? And to kind of play with this notion that the seasons not only exist, outside of you. I'm looking out my window right now and it's winter here, so the trees are very bare, and it was gray all day, except for within the last hour, the clouds have kind of broken. So it's not this thing that exists just out there beyond me. There are also seasons within me. And so seasonal living gives us that opportunity to recognize that once more and plug into that once more. I define seasonal living as consciously and intentionally flowing with, rather than resisting, the changes within and around us. So seasonal living is consciously and intentionally flowing with, rather than resisting, changes within and around us. So it's way more than just eating watermelon in the summertime and wearing sweaters in the wintertime, which, both of those are beautiful, and I hope that you get to enjoy them, and they're certainly part of it. However, to truly live seasonally and plug into this spiral of existence goes beyond just that. It goes beyond that which is kind of surface and physical, right? Like, what are we eating and what are we wearing? And goes deeper into that. Certainly supporting ourselves with the seasonal physical practices gives us greater access to the more energetic parts of it. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, when fully used, seasonal living is the greatest tool for personal, professional, and spiritual development. It is the greatest tool for finding wholeness, and it is the best way for healing feminine shame. And if you have followed me for even just a short amount of time, you know that healing shame, and in particular feminine shame, is something that I am driven by. It is my purpose. And when I say feminine shame, it is not simply referring to women. All of us, regardless of gender identification or physical anatomy, are carrying legacies of this feminine shame. And so to hold feminine shame is to be in resistance to and ashamed of and bypassing this very spirally, cyclical, rhythmic, seasonal way of existing that is very innate to humans. Like, you're in a human body, and this is kind of how you work and how you do life and how you relate to this place and experience life. And when we're at odds with that, that's when deep shame breeds, and from shame comes dis-ease on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And if this is something that interests you, I highly invite you to check out the links in the description to my podcast and blog, where I've talked at great lengths about shame and specifically feminine shame. So seasonal living is really the antidote to shame on all levels, and it's quite honestly the antidote to this separation and disconnection and spiritual malnourishment that is truly at epidemic rates in our modern life. So seasonal living, it's about allowing these natural rhythms and cycles of life and ourselves. And the thing is, these rhythms and these changes and these cycles, they're going to happen. And the dis-ease comes when we try to fight them, or we try to not let them happen, or we get attached to one way of being. And so that fear and that fight puts us in this kind of prison of our own creation and doesn't allow us the opportunity to experience life fully and richly. Is that a word? As fully and as deeply and with richness as we could if we were more in a state of surrender and flow. And there's many obstacles to that, and I'll get into these in the weeks to come as we kind of journey further together. I'm just wanting to really put these concepts out there and plant these seeds in your beautiful beings so they can kind of take root and you have something to ponder. So when we plug into the energetic qualities and invitations of each season, we have real opportunities here to consciously and sustainably and purposefully create and destroy and recreate ourselves and our lives, just as nature does, in a constant cycle, a constant spiral, a constant flow and change. Nothing's ever the same 2 days in a row, right? There's no stagnation, there's no dis-ease, and there's no frustration. Many of us feel lost and helpless and frustrated and stuck, and this is really something I hear a lot from my clients when we first start working together, is just how frustrated and stuck and stagnant they feel. And they just don't know what to do or how to move forward. And really, the answer to that, are you ready? Like the reason why we all feel stuck and frustrated is because we've lost that connection, that innate connection to the ability to flow and surrender to the flow, to the changes. There's this deep drive to be the same, like 24/7. And we're in this very go, just perpetually doing, really for the sake of doing. Like, you ever just stop and ask yourselves, like, what the hell am I actually doing right now? I'm like, why? And sometimes you can't answer that because it's just so deeply ingrained to just be in this kind of baseline 12 out of 10, just go, which energetically, to get back to seasonal, right? The energetic and the invitation, the quality, that go is very summer. So we're in this very super expansive summer, this inhale, fullest expansion, full moon, all of these different metaphors and these qualities that, again, if you followed me, I've spoken about, this very go solar energy, and not allowing for these other cycles that are necessary. You know, there are cycles of rejuvenation, cycles of purging, cycles of building, and cycles of expressing and going. But when we're trying to maintain this baseline of just go, it's so unnatural, and the system cannot sustain it. We simply cannot. So we'll go until we can't go, until the physical body, the energetic body, the emotional body, the mental body, they're like, dude, I can't do it anymore. And stuff will start to go awry. Stuff will start to shut down. And the truth is, many of us are so full of shame and trauma and different experiences that we haven't quite processed yet, that we don't feel safe to plug in to this natural spiral, this natural seasonal way of living, both, yes, literally plugging in seasonally and metaphorically. And metaphorically meaning those energetic qualities and invitations of each season, really plugging into those and answering those. We don't feel safe enough to do it. What feels safe is like summer, that summer solar go, go, go energy. That's what feels familiar, that's what feels safe, and so we feel like we just have to keep doing that. And then we wonder why we're unwell. We wonder why we feel stuck. We wonder why we're creatively constipated, why we're tired. And it's like, well, it all starts from that seed of safety and whether or not that exists, and then trying to maintain this like just baseline when nothing exists in a linear fashion in this shared experience we're all having on this place and this time on this planet. It doesn't. So seasonal living is the cure for all of that. Again, on a literal and energetic level. So literal meaning, yes, eat seasonally. Look up what is in season for where you live right now and endeavor to eat mostly those things. Your diets should change seasonally. The way that you engage with your body through movement should change seasonally. Your meditation practices, your breath practices, your lifestyle choices, how much social interactions you're getting, all of these things can change seasonally. And again, they are the literal kind of more physical, tangible parts of seasonal living that are just as important. And again, we don't need to get all heady about it and like, okay, well, it's winter, so what should I be doing? No, it's very here and you know. So trust yourself, trust that you are safe enough in your knowing and your body wisdom to plug back into that. And on that metaphorical, energetic level, it's tuning into the qualities of each season. So you're either in winter or summer right now, depending on which hemisphere you're joining me from. And each one of those has a particular essence, a particular quality. It's asking very specific things of you right now at this time. And going against those invitations is again what breeds the dis-ease, the stagnation, the disconnection, all of these things that we just kind of normalize that don't have to be normal because they're not normal. They're unnatural. So again, seasonal living is consciously and intentionally flowing with rather than resisting changes within and around us. So we use Mother Nature as a mirror. We use Mother Nature as a cue. We use what we are seeing and what we are feeling, both physically and energetically, as resources and as prompts and as a mirror and as ways to really feel what needs to happen next, what needs to happen now. How do I use this most potently? And how do I get off of this fear that is driving me to feel like I have to stay at this baseline of, like, for most of us, like I said, it's summer. Very just go, go, go. Got to keep it together. There's no time for tending to my emotions. There's no time for slowing down and resting. You know, getting off of that bullshit and understanding that everything is existing in this cyclical, spirally way. And so plugging back into that. And like I said, I'll be sharing more over the coming weeks, this seasonal living series I'm so excited about. And yeah, so right now I would really, again, like how I opened this today, I would invite you to really feel into just hearing seasonal living. What does that do to you? Is there a little kind of stir within? Is there excitement? Is there, what comes up for you? and feel into, right now, like I said, it's either summer or winter, wherever you are in the world. And what are you noticing physically and on that energetic kind of essence quality? What are you noticing? What's being asked of you right now? And are you resisting it, or are you going with it? Yeah. So bring any questions, share any insights that you may have after watching this video. I'm very curious what comes up for you. And if you want more help one-on-one and really want to use this potent tool, this earth wisdom, this innate way of being and living, and want some one-on-one guidance to plug yourself back into this rhythm, I invite you to check out and sign up for one of my seasonal alignment sessions. It would be an honor to walk you through that. And yeah, you can learn more by reaching out to me or going to my website, InnerSpark.life. And again, there are tons of resources in the links in the description to my blog and podcast for more on shame and all kinds of yummy stuff. So I will be back next week for the next part of our seasonal living series, and I will talk to you then. Take care.